Hey y'all, it's Dr. Shamanda. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am a licensed mental health and addictions therapist based out of North Carolina, and I specialize in financial therapy, which is all about helping you heal and understand your relationship with money. But on this channel, I share my own personal finance journey. But today, I'm actually going to be telling y'all about some stuff, okay? Education. Now, y'all know, if you are my OG, then you know that I love the intersection between money or personal finance and psychology. Okay? I love it. Psychology, mental health, and money. I love it. It is like a super passion of mine, obsession, low key. So today we are going to talk about something I think is a foundational piece when it comes to building wealth, which is the boring, yes, I said it, boring habits that actually builds wealth. Okay? So building wealth is boring. Let's just say it. I'm just going to say it straight up. It's boring. And these are the habits. These are the things, the actions, the behaviors that if you do these things consistently, there's really no way that you can't be wealthy. Now, again, consistently, over time, you can build wealth. Okay? Let's talk about it. So let's be for real. There's really not much excitement about saving, investing, paying off debt, sacrificing your certain things, seeing your Roth contributions, transfer. Yeah, you might get happy for a moment, right? That's a feeling. But it's not this super exciting thing. It's not. That is the behavior that leads to building wealth, and it's not overwhelmingly exciting. It is boring. It is very simple. But that actually is a good thing. Okay? That means that anybody can do it, realistically. All right, let's talk about this. Number one, you probably heard this before, but it's so important that we automate our money, right? Whether that's saving, retirement investments, sinking funds, if you want to do that. This, for some people, again, y'all know how I am about the automation stuff. I actually enjoy the transfers and all that stuff because I'm just like a nerd when it comes to this stuff. But for your average person, it needs to be automated because most of us are running off of motivation. And y'all know how I feel about motivation. Motivation does not last. Discipline is what we want. But motivation wanes. It comes and goes. So if you automate your savings, your investment transfers, all those things, then when the motivation is gone, when you're not, excited about, I'm going to get this money, I'm trying to build wealth, whatever, when all that is gone and you're like in it and it's, you're overwhelmed by other stuff going on in life, you don't have to worry about that because it's automatic. It's automatically coming out of your account. So you don't even have to think about it. So automate your money. Number two, you've heard this before, but it's so important and it's so real. It is so important to live below your means, which means that every dollar that comes in shouldn't be going out to buy stuff or pay debt or buy new stuff, basically. You should be living below your means, which means that you pay for your household expenses and your needs, your basic needs, basically, right? But you should always be putting money towards savings, investing, or paying off debt in some way, right? Every dollar should not just be going toward like increasing your standard of living or your lifestyle to some degree. Like now that you have this promotion or you're making more money at your job, whatever, that does not mean that, okay, woo, it's time to go buy a new car. It's time to go buy a bigger house, or, oh, well then I can actually now put my kids in this type of class or this whatever, right? No, that's lifestyle inflation. So your money, the more money you get, you should be, I'm going to say should because I'm going to take that out, but I recommend, highly suggest using that money to build wealth, right? This boring habit of saving, investing, paying off debt, things like that. But you shouldn't, I recommend not, just putting all the, like using the new money from the promotion, the raise, whatever, to now inflate your lifestyle, right? So live below your means. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you have to spend all of it. You get it? Okay. Number three is we have to invest consistently. Yes, consistently, right? Um, some of us, like, it's like a in and out thing, right? Like, I'm going to invest this month, but like, okay, but the market is down or we're seeing red, so I'm not going to invest this month, whatever. Like, no, you have to, it's so important to be consistent. Just set it and forget it if you can. Like, and you can like automate your investments as well. So again, it's a boring habit, it's a boring activity because you're just transferring this money over. But like at the end of the day, if you do that consistently, you'll see your accounts grow and grow and grow. And that's part of building wealth. It's a necessity, honestly. Number 4 is paying your bills on time, right? That is another boring habit, but that builds wealth. But it is so important because you're paying your bills on time. It impacts a couple different things. It can impact your credit score, and we all know if your credit score is low, then whenever you do try to buy something like a house or a car or anything like that, then you're going to have a higher interest rate, which is going to cost you more money in interest, right? If you don't pay your bills on time, you might get a late fee. So guess what? Now it's costing you more money because now you got to pay that extra money on this bill that you could be putting towards something else. So not paying your bills on time has consequences that's going to cost you money and take away from building wealth, which is the goal. So paying your bills on time is another boring habit that helps build wealth. Number 5 is saying no to stuff that you don't need. I get it. Y'all know I'm a minimalist, so it's really not that hard for me. But there are times where I'm just like, ugh. Because I do want me an SUV right now. Y'all know I keep talking about it, but I want me an SUV so bad. I thought about it today. I was like, you know what? I probably could travel a lot more if I had an SUV. Like, I think I would. And so I was going to low-key kind of talking myself into it. But, like, what's your savings looking like? Do you got enough to pay for a car cash? No, you don't. So, no. And your car's paid off. So, well, no. So, saying no to stuff that you don't need. Keep in mind, I said need, not want. Well, is that the same thing? Child, listen. Anyway, y'all know what I mean. So if you don't need it, like a new phone every time it's time to upgrade, or this vacation that if you just took one, you don't necessarily have to go on the girls' trip this time, right? The latest trends, or new subscription, or trying out the new restaurant, or this Amazon purchase, whatever, when Amazon has those prime deals and all that stuff. Now, these are all things that, you might say, I deserve this, whatever, but guess what? You can save for it. You can plan for it, but like being like splurging constantly, or just randomly buying stuff that's not in your budget or requires you to pull money from your savings in order to purchase it, that's what I'm referring to. If you don't need it and you haven't saved for it and you haven't planned for it, then that's taken away from you building wealth. So again, that's another boring habit. The habit of not buying stuff just because you desire it in the moment, like delayed gratification, not practicing delayed gratification. That is another thing that inhibits our ability to build wealth. So a boring habit here is to say no to things that you don't need. Okay. Number 6 is tracking your money. Y'all know I'm all about a budget, a good old budget. And what I'm learning more and more as I continue to do work with clients is that not everybody understands a budget. And I don't know, I think I take for granted the budgeting piece. I keep hearing, particularly Gen Z and millennials that like, oh, I haven't learned about money. Nobody taught me about money. And I'm like, wow, like I'm still shocked because obviously like it's the age of like technology and information, but I'm learning more and more like that people still don't know about money and budgets and stuff, like just basics around finances. And so at the end of the day, like once you fully understand what a budget is, which is basically tracking your expenses and your income, right, and subtracting those things, so you kind of know what your wiggle room is, knowing what you're trying to pay out versus what you're bringing in, just tracking those things, whether it's on paper or a notebook or a book that I have over here, like that's it. So what's coming in, what's going out, what's invested, what's owed, what's growing. So tracking your investments every month, like that is another boring habit that is so important and foundational to building wealth. You have to know those numbers in order to build wealth, okay? Number 6 is delaying gratification. I talked about that a little bit already, but that is a boring habit to building wealth because it is such a skill to master. It is challenging, I will say, because especially when you start getting a little bit of money in them accounts, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing those zeros, you be like, wait, technically I can go pay cash for a car if I really want to, but do I need this right now? And is this taking me closer to my goals, or is this further away? So you really have to be very honest with yourself and be like, okay, I can wait on this. It's gonna feel better if I save this money to pay for this, in cash and in full, versus taking away from my future, like in my investments, or from the savings account that is supposed to be toward my freedom fund, or for me to retire early, or whatever, or sabbatical. It's going to feel better if I actually save for this one specific goal and then go use that money to buy the thing that I want, right? It's going to feel so much better. So delayed gratification is another boring habit to building wealth. And then last but not least, just keeping your financial life simple, right? So we don't need a lot of accounts. We don't need overly complicated strategies for building wealth. We're paying off debt. You can keep things very simple. You don't have to be day trading, and nothing against it, but we don't have to be doing all this extra stuff, really. The basic habits build wealth. Literally, saving, knowing your budget, living below your means, investing your money consistently. Set it and forget it. Okay, I'm going to do 5% of every paycheck and then get the company match, right? I'm going to transfer this amount to my Roth every month as well, on top of the 401k or the 457b. I'm going to list my debts from smallest to largest, and I'm going to budget so I'll know how much money I have left that can go towards debts, towards savings, and toward investments. Just knowing your numbers, automating these transfers if possible, if you want, and being consistent, living below your means. These are all just very boring and basic habits that really catapult you and increases your chances of actually building wealth. And guess what? Anybody can do it. Literally, anybody. Now, am I saying that you're going to do it at the level of this person who makes $1 billion a year? No. But it doesn't matter if you make $25,000 a year. You can still use these same habits. It works for everybody. Every socioeconomic level or status. It doesn't matter. You might just be saving or investing at a smaller level, but you're still investing. You're still doing the habits. It's the same concepts across the board. Okay, so there's no excuse. I'm not letting you off the hook. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye. Oh, tell me which habits you use, or which ones do you struggle with or have struggled with in the past. All right, talk to you soon.